It's rare when the MegaMets, myself and Mega Man and G, do a TNA/Impact pay-per-view prediction. And trust me, for things like the WWE and TNA, I think we more or less made up our minds. We're only doing the big four for each company when applicable. For WWE, that would be the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the Survivor Series. For TNA, Hard to Kill, Rebellion, that one, again, whenever applicable, Slammiversary, and Bound for Glory. Shouldn't take him this long to get in. Told him 7 o'clock. Oh, there he is.
Let's get this started already.
Welcome to the MegaMets podcast. Tonight, it's predictions for tomorrow's 22nd anniversary for TNA Slammiversary from the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Amazing how TNA is still going in spite of everything they've endured.
Especially with how badly Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan tried to run it into the ground from 2010 and 2013.
At least I'm thankful they got rid of that garbage.
Got that right. We've got 11 matches on this card, 3 on the pre-show. We start off with a 4-way. Zaya Brookside, Giselle Shaw, Tasha Steelz, and Faby Apache. Faby from a prominent luchador family in Mexico.
Ooh, this will be a fun one.
So you got a Brit, a Canadian trans, a Boricua, and a luchadores.
Well, looks like this will prove to be an interesting show, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. They've been trying to build Zaya and Giselle up for the last several weeks, so it's going to boil down to one of those two.
You're kind of right.
Between the two, who do you pick?
Before I explain my prediction, I don't watch TNA wrestling. I haven't in a long time. So I will say that my choice is going to be Zaya.
I'll go Giselle.
That's pretty fair.
Next up, KUSHIDA versus Johnathan Gresham. For anyone who has watched TNA recently, Johnathan Gresham has devolved into a sort of Cthulhu Eldritch Abomination type character who will spew up black inkish goop that makes who causes anyone who makes contact with that stuff get sick. As such, for kayfabe purposes, anytime Gresham has a wrestling match, you'll see a ref with a COVID-style mask over their faces. Not like, even though now the truth's gone out, those things are bullshit.
Yeah.
KUSHIDA has recently tried to get a sample so he can create a cure of it. I like the story, but putting the mask on the ref, even if it's just for one wrestler's matches, it's hitting a little too soon, TNA. Way too soon for that.
Damn.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this to KUSHIDA.
That's fair. I will also give it to KUSHIDA.
Next up, a rematch from, I believe, let me see when they dropped titles. It was either Under Siege, Rebellion, or Sacrifice. Hang on a sec.
Basically, it goes like this. It's a tag team match for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. You have the Malisha, Alisha Edwards, and Masha Slamovich. They are the champs versus the challengers, Spitfire, Dani Luna, and Jody Threat.
It was an Under Siege. Okay, it was an Under Siege.
I see.
Anyway, While Malisha is part of the TNA heel faction, the System, which is more of a melting pot bloodline led by Moose and consisting of Alisha and her husband Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers. Who else was in it? Oh, and Johnny Dango Curtis. More on him later. Little scumbag. Masha is basically not really part of the System, but she's affiliated with the System because she's Alicia's tag partner. If that makes sense. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
In any case, I don't know which way this is going to go, but I'm going to play it safe and give it to the Malisha.
Yep.
Next up, 6-man tag. The Rascalz, fully back together. Wesley, Trey, Miguel, and Zachary Wentz against NXT's No Quarter Catch Crew, Charlie Dempsey, Myles Borne, and Tavion Heights.
They left to join TNA.
I think it's more part of a working deal between the two groups.
Yeah, if it helps out, it helps out. Things are changing, and they need to change for the better.
I mean, there's a reason that a certain someone has popped up on TNA 3 times over the last month, in NXT over the last month.
Yeah.
We'll get to him later. And as I was saying about Heights, he's actually going to be going over to Japan in the next couple of weeks because he's competing in Pro Wrestling Noah's N1 Victory Tournament.
Yes, indeed.
You give it to the homeboys, or do you let the Invaders take the W?
Well, I'm giving it to the Rascalz.
I'll also go with the Rascalz. Next up, Mike Santana against Jake something. Was there any reason for turning Jake heel? I don't really see it.
I don't really see it either.
I'm going to give this to Mike Santana to help him build up a case to get him back and get him into the world title hunt.
That kind of works.
AJ Francis with Rich Swann defends both the TNA Digital Media title and the Canadian International Heavyweight title, the latter of which I think he bought in an auction.
Wow.
Against PCO. The man formerly known as Top Dollar and the head honcho of First Class takes on the French-Canadian Frankenstein. This is a motherfucker who's not human. In PCO. I have seen him in action.
He's a madman.
And still going in his mid-50s.
No sane human being would ever do that. They would be retired and living a peaceful life.
Especially with his more 50, hardcore style.
But at the age of 50, that's a bit much.
Actually, I think he's 56.
God damn, that's much.
Then again, Minoru Suzuki's the same age and he's going, but the difference is in the style he wrestles.
Indeed.
I'm going to give this to the hometown boy, and I'm going to give PCO the win.
Yeah, so he can win 2 belts for the price of 1. I also give it to PCO.
Because AJ Francis is a big pain in the ass piece of shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Couldn't make it in the WWE as Top Dollar. He couldn't make it in MLW. He's not going to make it.
Not everyone is guaranteed for success. That's the thing.
True. You're up for this one. TNA World Tag Title match.
The System. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards versus ABC. Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
This is the ABC's obligated contractual rematch for the title.
The rematch clause has been given.
Belts that Eddie and Brian have held on since, I believe, either No Surrender or Rebellion. I really hate when I have to double check.
Yeah, do that.
They've held the belts since, let's see, here we go. Sacrifice. Back in March. For Ace and Chris, this may be their last chance. And personally, if Alisha gets involved, the ABC are going to need backup.
Yep.
And it's on that fact alone, I'm going to give this to the system.
I believe the system should retain.
Next up, Broken Matt Hardy against JDC. What the hell possessed Johnny Dango Curtis, FKA Fandango, FKA Dirty Dango, to basically reduce himself to being the hitman for the system?
Indeed.
Granted, to be fair, it wasn't him that took Nick Nemeth out temporarily, it was Frankie Kazarian, but the point still applies.
Yes, indeed.
And after what happened last night on the Impact tapings, where he basically took a chair to Jeff Hardy's neck and basically mauled Rebecca / Sky Hardy in the back.
God damn it, that's a bit much.
Broken Matt Hardy is out for vengeance. And
he's ready to
Dirty
bring in the
Dango,
pain.
you better watch yourself, because tomorrow night, the Broken One will ensure that you fade away and are forever classified as obsolete when he finally deletes you. Delete!
Play Piano Sonata N14 up 27. Play Moon Knight Sonata third movement.
Yes! I'm giving it to Hardy. Yes!
Easy, Matt.
I can't help it.
I know.
I mean, considering that from 21 up until 22, I did have regular contact with the Hardys on Twitch.
Huh. Yeah, we'll be playing Sonata eventually. Moonlight Sonata.
Next up for the X Division title, Mustafa Ali defends against the one guy he's been terrified to fight. Another example, the Speedball, Mike Bailey.
I haven't seen Mike Bailey since like years ago. I remember he was in the WCPW World Cup.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I've even told Mike this, that for this match, in case that the BS security teams and riot squads for Ali come out, since he carries himself like your run-of-the-mill crooked politician character.
Yeah.
He's going to need backup, not just from Trent Seven, but also from any of his students from the IWS dojo in Montreal, and more importantly, from his wife, Veda Scott.
Yes, indeed.
You want to send the Montreal crowd home happy, TNA? This match, pull the trigger and give the title to the hometown hero. Speedball walks in the challenger, but walks out a two-time TNA X Division champion.
Yep.
Semi-main. Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance, FKA Dana Brooke. Jordan Grace has put on open challenges as of late on TNA, putting up the knockout style against anyone who dares to cross the line. And of course, at Battleground last month, she crossed the line to take on Roxanne Perez for the knockouts title and came up short, mostly due to interference by Ash by Elegance. But basically, I think Ash is so deep in Jordan's head, she's going to slip up. I'm giving this to Ash by Elegance. What about you?
I would also give it to Ash by Elegance. It's going to, I mean, Jordan's going to mess up somewhat.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we get to the main event. A 6-man elimination match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Moose defends the title against Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin, Nick Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, and I really hate doing this.
I know.
Yeah. Joe Hendry.
Oh my God. 6 people. 1 champion, 5 others.
Love it.
It's a race against the clock.
Now you know why I hate having to say his name. Now, granted, he didn't appear, but the joke is pretty kayfabe relevant. I mean, they've been building Joe Hendry up to be the guy to knock Moose down. However, let's look at the scenarios. In my view, with Nick Nemec's attention turned away from Moose because of Kazarian attacking him recently, because originally my thought process was that Hendry and Kazarian canceled each other out. Now it's, in my view, going to be that Nemeth and Kazarian cancel each other out. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't see either of them winning the world title. As much as I would love to see Macklin get his hands on Moose for basically leaving him high and dry, because let's keep in mind, the reason Moose has the world title in a roundabout way is because of Macklin taking the contract down during the Feast or Fired match back in September, and then Macklin got gored by Rhino, which launched the contract out of the ring, and Moose caught it.
Wow.
Alexander, on the other hand, yes, he and Moose have had tremendous legendary chemist battles. The biggest case in point to why I think Josh could do it, one, it's outside, he's in his home nation of Canada, and two, he hasn't had this kind of a shot at glory since he beat Moose back at Rebellion in 2022, which began the longest world title reign in TNA history. And when you think about it, Josh never lost the title. He got stripped of it due to a tricep tear.
God damn, injuries are like the worst thing.
But that said, to me, at this point, with how much hype they're building behind Joe Hendry, it's going to go down to Moose and Hendry, in my opinion. And in my view, while TNA could pull the trigger on this and give Joe Hendry the gold, I say hold off on it until Bound for Glory. What about you?
6 men, 1 championship. This is going to be nuts. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time deciding. But if I were to pick, this is tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I would pick Kazarian. If I get proven wrong, I don't care. I don't even watch TNA.
I could have sworn after 2 years I told you on how you could watch it through YouTube.
I know.
I'm surprised you haven't pulled the trigger on that.
I'm surprised I haven't either. I kind of got burned out of Twitter because of, you can guess the idea.
I said YouTube. It's on YouTube, not Twitter.
You mean Twitch?
They were on Twitch, but they had to pull off and they moved to YouTube.
It kind of works. I might consider watching them.
And if you join for the membership, for the membership I've got, it's only about $2 a month.
Interesting.
Granted, you're only permitted to watch the the Impact tapings.
That's fair.
I mean, it's a good out for anyone who doesn't have cable.
Yeah, because people have already started cutting the cord.
And the same thing with Dish. But then again, those streaming platforms that give you multiple channels, it varies in terms of channel quality and quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, for me, it's down to Hendry and Moose. And like I said, too soon. While Hendry has proven he can carry a company before, like he did as the What Culture Pro champion in 2017, back in 2017, now is not the time to put the title on the prestigious one. Let him chase for the next 4 months and then slap it on him at Bound for Glory. I'm taking Moose to retain.
That's fair.
That's it for tonight's MegaMets podcast. Next up, well, depending on when I get back from the collectors convention in a couple of weeks, next Friday we'll be looking at the N1 Victory Tournament brackets, and then the Saturday after that, leading into just hours before SummerSlam, we'll do our picks for SummerSlam 2024. Granted, it probably won't be until around 6 or so when I get back from the collectors convention.
Yeah. But you should know on the 29th, I'm off on vacation until at least August 8th or so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask Michael if he'll be willing to do it.
Yeah, because when's the next time you're doing it?
Well, if we can do the 27th for the N1, would that work?
Yeah, the 27th for the N1 would work. Yeah, I'd be there for that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next time, folks. Same MegaMets time, same MegaMets channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to both our networks. This is MegaMan and GMX 2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.
That was a fun one.